So last week, my friend Greg announced he was starting a new diet. This wasn't particularly unusual. Greg's the kind of guy who once tried to eat nothing but foods that shared a color with his shoes. For 3 days, he lived on blueberries and heartbreak, but this time, he said, was different. It's the Q diet, he declared, with the solemnity of a man unveiling a new religion. For optimal clarity, I'm eating only foods that start with the letter Q. I figured he'd last about as long as his infamous beige food month, but I underestimated both his stubbornness and the sheer number of quinoa recipes on the internet. By Wednesday, our group chat was a battleground of Q puns and desperate recipe suggestions. Quince, quark, quail eggs, quahogs, each more questionable than the last. Greg, for his part, was undeterred. He proudly shared his lunch, quinoa salad with a side of quavers and a quinoa smoothie. Quavers, for the record, are British cheese puffs, and Greg is deeply lactose intolerant. The group's attempts at intervention only fueled his commitment. "You guys just don't understand the Qniverse," he texted, as if he'd reached some kind of alphabetical enlightenment. By Friday, things had started to unravel. Greg's skin had taken on a faintly beige hue, and he was developing what he described as a strong, almost spiritual connection with the letter Q. At a restaurant, he grilled the waiter for any Q-based specials. "Quiche?" Greg inquired, eyes wide. "Quenelles?" he pleaded. The waiter, looking both baffled and a little terrified, suggested the quiet room at the back. Meanwhile, our friend Jamie had started a betting pool on what Greg would eat next. Someone had $10 riding on quicksand, which honestly didn't seem that far-fetched at this point. On Sunday, Greg hosted a dinner party to showcase his culinary journey. The menu consisted of quinoa, quince jam, quail eggs, and for dessert, questionable pudding. As we sat there, valiantly chewing our way through what tasted suspiciously like blended Scrabble tiles, Greg raised his glass of quinoa milk and declared, "Friends, I have finally achieved a state of Q-nitty. And that's how I learned the real meaning of questionable life choices. It's when your diet and your dignity both start with Q."